to positive place where your presence makes this place that much more positive and where your voice matters. Tonight's special guest, I am so embarrassed to even say. I can't pronounce her name. I'm gonna give it a shot though. Leona Lopez. I'm hoping I said it right. Leona Lopez _ This is her book. And I see you're in the building. I appreciate your punctuality. Before I bring her in, I gotta let it be known what I'm thankful for. And it's always the same. So without further ado, I'm thankful for having been deemed worthy of being placed on the wake-up call list. Because if we all should know, we all laid down last night. But unfortunately, we didn't all wake up this AM. All those who didn't wake up this AM, eventually their vessel will be reunited with the earth, and their spirit will be reunited with the universe. But for all those who knew those individuals well, the memories they were allowed to create with them will keep them alive in their heart and in their mind for as long as those people live. That is the importance of memories. They immortalize. So my suggestion to everyone in here now, and everyone who will watch this live later as a replay, create as many memorable moments as you can with those you love and who love you, because again, memories immortalize. Again, I'm your host, Henry. This is Positive Place, where your presence makes this place that much more positive and where your voice matters. Tonight's guest is Leona Lopez _ She is the proud author of this book right here. Purposeful Brokenness. This is her book. Dr. P, how you doing, beloved? I see you. So let me go on and bring Leona in and see if this is actually how she pronounced her name. Even on the heart, Leona. Please.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored, no complaints to complain about. So let me tell you. First, tell me your name.
Leilani.
Leilani, I was all off. I was all the way out, like over there, way over there somewhere. Oh, wow. I'm saying Leona.
It's okay.
I just started to say L. You know, L. I couldn't go wrong with that L. Hey, L.
Listen, I got worse when I was growing up, so it's fine.
Yeah. So, look, I'd like to thank you. I want to thank you for taking minutes of your time and donating and coming here, because you could have did anything with that time, but you chose to spend it here, and that says a lot without saying nothing at all, and I want to thank you for that. Really, I do.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So before I get started with the interview, I always like to ask the interviewee two things. First, how was your day today?
My day was good. Today's Thursday, so my husband was off, so it was always a good day when he's home.
I bet.
How was your day?
Awesome. Oh, my day was it was awesome as well. You know, I like to say every second above ground is the ultimate blessing, right?
That's right.
Got a lot done, you know. I don't know if you know, but I created this club on Clubhouse. I don't know if you know about Clubhouse or...
Yeah.
Okay, Clubhouse, it's another app, and I created a writers club.
Oh,
where
nice.
we had a good old time today. We was talking about what makes us a better writer. And we were just reading pieces that we wrote. Just reading pieces, right? So it was a beautiful time. If you ever get on Clubhouse, look up Writer's Way.
Writer's Way.
Look it up. Yeah, Writer's Way. And you're welcome to come through. You know?
Thank you.
Yes. So the second thing is, tell me, that's your husband right there.
Yeah, that's him right there.
I see you, brother. I see you can't hide. I see that one eye. He got that one eye going on. Like, okay, I'm looking. I see you over there. What's going on over there? Yeah, I see that eye over there. That eye.
That's my protector right there. God and him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, the next thing is tell me, and the people that's in here now and the people who will watch this live later as a replay, as much about you as you want us to know outside of writing.
Outside of writing. So I am okay. It's all writing related. My name is Leilani Lopez. I am 30 years old. Outside of writing, I am an HR professional. So I help people get jobs. I help people, with their resumes, cover letters, making sure they know the market that they're going into. Yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Like, I'm so boring. I'm so quirky. I'm socially awkward. But I'm learning to move through it. And that's me in a nutshell.
Okay. And the only way to get through something is you got to go through it.
Yeah.
To get through it, you got to go through it. So,
yeah,
I commend you on taking them steps forward to
Thank
get
you.
past what you need to get past. Yes, ma'am. So, we're going to get into the interview aspect of this thing. It's 14 questions. The majority of the questions are writer related. And they're not complicated because I'm trying to make this a memorable moment, a great experience. So, the first question is, what inspired you to become a creative writer?
So it started because it was an outlet for me emotionally. So I'm very transparent when it comes to, I deal with depression. I deal with, I was diagnosed with bipolar 2, borderline personality disorder, major depressive disorder, and anxiety. So it started with me just trying to figure out my emotions and put it on paper. Like, what does that look like for me? And how can that be my emotional outlet without, having, being transparent and not having so much judgment around me. But then writing, it just was like, I have to be authentic. I have to write. I have to get it all out. And it just transitioned to me just, being my alter ego, kind of, sort of. So the person that you see on the outside is, trying to be, energetic, trying to put herself out there. But the person on paper is very confident, is very okay, this is who I am, and take me or take it or leave it. And I love that persona that writing gives me.
Right. That's powerful. Now, let me ask you this. Do you like reciting what you have written?
I do. I just recently performed at Harlem Fashion Week in New York. For their Black Lives Matter exposition. I do open mics myself. I host. I jump on other people's open mics. There's a young lady that's in this room right now who she has her own radio station where I go and, recite. So I recite it as that alter ego. But then once it's over, it's back to oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, I get it. But you on your way to taking that alter ego and making it you, your overall personality. You're on your way,
Thank you.
That's why I said, do you like to recite with you? Because you said, so, but that's you're on your way. You're on your way. You're on your way. So we on question 2. Do you have a set routine when it comes to writing, or do you just go with the flow?
So, you're going to laugh because my husband, he's going to laugh. I don't have a routine at all. Believe it or not, when I wrote the book, I really haven't wrote much after that. I wrote maybe 6 pieces. And it's because somebody asked me to do an event, or they asked me to jump on an open mic, or I'm like, oh, this is on my spirit today. Let me write this out. So it's funny that way. So now I'm learning starting next week, I'm going to create a routine where I'm starting to write at least 3 poems a week. and then keep going that way. But I don't have a writing routine.
Yeah. I mean, but you in good company, because the average writer doesn't have a routine. The average writer, they just write what comes to mind or whatever inspires them around them. So you're in good company. It's not like you alone. You're in good company. Yes. So we on question 3. When writing, how do you remain focused in the midst of distractions?
So I'm an emotional writer. And most times, and then I'm also research driven. So I'm one of those people that, like, you get, like, once I already got my topic, and especially when it's a research based poem, like, I just hit the ground running. Like, there is no distraction for me. Because I have tunnel vision. I think that has a lot to do with my, my HR hat. Like, you just got to be focused on that one thing. And then it's always something that intrigues me most of the time. Like, all of the writing I've done, I'm a cautious writer. So I write a lot about the Black experience, in America, what that looks like. And I never want to get it wrong. I don't want people to, be misled by the words that I'm saying. And I wanted to evoke emotion within them as well, that it's relatable across all races. So though I'm talking about the Black experience, I want other races to say, oh, you know what, I can look that up. That's something that's real, or, they can connect it to it on another level. So that's where it is kind of for me.
It's like this. You know how they had the horses, and they put them blinders on the horses so they can't look nowhere but straight ahead, right?
That's right.
Focus on the task at hand. So I get that. I can relate to that 100%. So, we on question 4. What are your top 3 things you'd share with a new writer?
The first thing is always to be authentic to yourself. Like, don't go with what everybody else is writing. For me, like, I let everybody know I'm not a slammer. Like, I can't do what they do. I can't, recite poetry off the top of my head. I have to read it. Even though I wrote it, I still have to read it. So don't try to, fit into the mesh of what trend looks like. Be authentic to who you are. Stick into your realm, because that's the most powerful piece. Because poetry is you expressing who you are. This is you on a piece of paper. This is you, conveying all that emotion. So you trying to emulate something else is not being authentic to who you are, and it translates into your performance. And then 2, I feel that practice makes perfect, and know what your audience is. Because you never want to go into a situation where, like, you're talking about, you're doing erotica, and this is like a Christian event. Know your audience. That has happened to me before. Not me per se, but I had an event with a whole bunch of Christian followers, and for my birthday experience, and someone did erotica when the tone was completely different. So just know your audience. And then 3, have fun. Remember, this is just you. This is you being you. This is you having fun. This is you, an expression of yourself. It's art. Love your art, and, let your art love you. Like, wear it with honor.
Absolutely. I want you to give me that top 3 one more again.
Yeah, so be authentic to who you are. Know your audience, and, wear your art with honor.
Yes. Earlier, a lot of people got it misconstrued that we are supposed to write for the reader, right?
Right.
And when you get off into that, you're doing yourself a disservice, because now you have to write to cater to them. You can't write outside of that. They expecting this brand of writing, right? I said that we can't write for the reader, but we can hope that the reader likes what we wrote, right?
That's right.
Everything has to come from here. It has to come from here. When we love it, right? When we love it, somebody else gonna at least like it. I'm only shooting for likes. Love, that's okay. Thanks. But I'm only shooting for likes and only one of them. Every day. I just want one like. That's it. Everything else is a bonus. I just want one. That's it. Right? So you right about that. Stay authentic. Right? Because once you change, you can't go back.
That's right.
You can't go back because they're not gonna want it. They're not gonna want it. So you give them what you want them to have first and foremost off rip. Now they know what to expect.
Exactly.
You know what to expect. So yeah, stay authentic. Absolutely. By all means. So we on question 5. What have you always wanted to do, but for whatever reason, you never have?
So I guess for me, I'm not a slammer, but I would love to be a part of a slam just for the experience of it. And I haven't because, like I said, granted, I did perform at Harlem Fashion Week. I get extreme stage fright. And I always think that a slam is almost like the old school Apollo Live. Or the cane guys gonna come out and grab me off the stage. So that's the only reason why I don't do slam. Not that I don't think my poetry is good. I think it's good. But I just don't think it's slam worthy. There's so many slam poets that are, so talented. I always give, their roses to these beautiful, talented poets. And yeah, that's just not my realm. And I wish one day I can get there.
You will. You will. You just got to believe it. You got to believe it and work towards it, right? You'll do it. I mean, I don't know nothing about it. I mean, I every now and then, but I don't know anything about it. Wow. I wouldn't even try to attempt it, right? I just like doing what I do. And I applaud those people with that skill level, because that's a skill level.
Yeah. That's
a skill level for real. Them people come up in there and they don't be having no fear. No, they command the crowd, right? Mm-hmm. So, that's an art. That's an art. Everybody is, everybody not there, but you can be if that's what you focus in on. Those people focused in on that particular style of doing things. That became it. They ain't focused on nothing else. So that's what it takes. If you want it, you just gotta focus in on it 100%. The tunnel vision. Go back to the tunnel vision. Yeah. So we on question 6. From a writer's perspective, what do you know now that you wish you knew in the beginning?
This whole self-publishing thing is to know the ramifications of it. I wish I would have known how to jumpstart it from the beginning. So I emailed you and said, I don't have my book on Amazon anymore. And the reason being is because Amazon, for me, personally, they take a bulk of from an artist's point of view, they take a bulk of your money. They're asking anywhere between 35 to 70% of your profit. Where if you put it on your own website, you're getting the majority of your profit for your work. So learning those little details, okay, this is my art. I should be able to do it the way I want to do it. Platforming it, the different marketing strategies. I had no idea about a hashtag until maybe May of this year. And how the hashtag really brings your brand to a different marketing perspective. So knowing the marketing aspects and knowing what how to market was the biggest thing I wish I would have known before getting into the nitty-gritty of publishing and pushing out my book.
Yeah But now you know.
Yep.
Now you know. And, it's... So you have a website.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So Your website is in your link. I mean, in your bio.
Yes.
The link to the website in the bio.
Yeah.
And it'll lead right to the book.
Yes, it's for the book. So we are a brand in itself. We're laying poetry. So yes, it's my book. But it's authentic pieces, like very Afrocentric pieces for women and men. Bracelets for men, bracelets for women, earrings, necklaces that I handcraft most. Starting to do some wholesale as well. And then we also have a TV show called Fire to the Mic, which is a poetry competition where 4 talented artists have completed season 1, and the show, our first episode aired today at 7 p.m. on the live stream on Roku TV and Fire Stick. So we're super excited about that. So you'll find all those little details on the website.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's big. That's big, like this. Yeah. Wow. See, I got this thing. It say, go get what you came for, and always make sure you bring back more than you expected. Right?
Yeah.
You went for a book.
Yes.
You got the book, but you came back with so much more. Book. Yeah. Say a television show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, that's big. That's huge. That's
Thank
huge.
You.
How do you get on there? How do you qualify to even get on there? On your television?
Yeah. So I wrote content for the poetry competition because I want poetry to be on a different spectrum. Like I wanted to be back where Def Jam was. And one of my mentors who has started the network, this is her network, she just said, hey, submit it. If it's good enough, I'm going to approve it. If it's not, I'm going to kick it back. I was like, okay. And she approved the content, and we just hit the ground running. Me and my husband, we did the project together. We got one more person on who helped us throughout the whole thing. Joshua, the Dwelling Place, who's a gospel rapper and singer and songwriter. And the 3 of us kind of just put our heads together and made this, beautiful project into what it is. And now we're completed with season 1. We're sending out the applications for season 2 by the end of this week. I'm just putting the contracts together and sending them out. So I'm excited.
Wow. That is so inspiring.
Thank you.
To do something that big like that. That is awesome. That is
Thank
awesome.
You.
I wish you all the best in that venture.
Thank
all the
you.
best. Wow. So we on question question 6.
6.
No, we on question 6. Yes. Oh yeah, we are on 7, excuse me. If you could sit down and speak with any one writer, or you could sit down and speak with one writer, living or deceased, who would it be, and what would be your first question?
So I know it's maybe cliche for a lot of women, but it would be Maya Angelou. And my first question to her would be, what evoked her performance of The Mask that she redid by Lawrence Dunbar? Because I feel like that's one of my favorite poems by her that she performed. Particularly the one when she was in a black dress on stage and she did the laughter to mask the pain of being all black and, living in a society where we have to smile through it. So my question, that would be my question. That's what would intrigue me to hear what her response would be, because that would help me learn how to, connect with my emotions and deal in interpreting my emotions that I feel in my, conscious poetry.
Okay. That's powerful. That's powerful. And the majority of women do say Maya Angelou. So Maya Angelou is a fan favorite.
Yes.
I love her. I love her work. So we on question 8. What do you prefer writing most? Poetry or short stories, and why?
Oh, hands down poetry. Um, though with short stories, you can be a little more creative. There's more wiggle room. I feel like poetry is one of those things. It's that saying, say what you mean and mean what you say. That's all it is with poetry. And I love that aspect of it. Like, there can be gray, but the message is absolute. So get it right the first time. And, it could be a cliffhanger. It can be so many different things. And I think that, and because there's so many different styles. So the poetry competition is different types of poems. It's not just like, oh, we're just slamming all day. No. We're not slamming. Like, there's haikus. There's, what is it? Limnics. There's sonnets, burlesque. There's so many different kinds. So with that, the different aspects of it, learning the different, literary aspects of it, and then putting your creative, your creative perspective on top of it. I think that it is just a marriage that, people are not ready or are not expecting to come out of.
Okay. Nobody has ever explained it like that, right? I asked that question for a reason. 95 or even higher. So I'm just going to say 95% of the people I asked that question say poetry. I'm a short storyteller. That's my bread and butter. So I always try to encourage poets to write a short story based on something they love. They love the poetry. So I say, you're a poet. You already got that down. Perfect example. You want to do a slam.
Yep.
Make your character want to do a slam, but they just don't have it right now. How are they going to eventually get up to that stage and command it? That's the story. How are you going to push them to that point of getting beyond their fear and getting on the stage and actually doing it? And then once they do it, it feels so good from the energy they receive, they just take over. That's the story.
Yeah.
And you got half of it already done. You are the poet. You want to do a slam, but you just... So that's the story. See,
my poetry book that's already out, it starts off in each chapter with a short story, and then it goes into five poems. So I love the concept of it. It's going to be like that for my other book as well that I am coming out, I'm creating. But the same concept. I love that the short story goes before the poem, the poems. If I had to choose, I prefer poetry.
Yeah, you're gonna go with what you feel comfortable with. Yeah. Most of all, I get it. So we on question 9.
Yes.
What do you hope your words will accomplish most of all?
Most of all, Black empowerment. And Black female empowerment. I am a strong believer that, and uplifting the Black community. I say that over and over again. And I'm a large supporter of, Black female empowerment. I feel that, women need to, Black women particularly need to stick up and stand up for each other. And I want them to be empowered by those words that I say. Like, though we are, said to be X, Y, and Z, there's so much more to us than what these labels are. We're not the labels. And I know history tells us and society tells us that we're minorities, but we're not. We're the majority and act as such. We need to continue to wear our crowns and act as queens and kings that we are.
Yes. That goes with a hashtag I created, write with purpose on purpose.
That's right.
That's what you're doing. Write with purpose on purpose, right? Make your words count. Because words are powerful. We can't be wasting no words. Words are powerful.
That's right.
They can either be weapons or blessings.
That's right.
I like to use the latter, So yeah, that's powerful. And that's why you should write. To inspire people to be better by doing that. So we on question 10.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on purpose?
Yeah, purpose for me, it's everything. And, and what I mean is, I believe that everything is purposed. And it doesn't matter what it is, good, bad, indifferent, gray, white, black. It doesn't matter. It's all purpose. And me being transparent, because I think that I tell you already that I'm authentic. I suffer from mental health issues, and I also suffer from physical health issues. Like I have lupus, I have seizures, I have all these different things, and and I have a really nasty past. And I feel that God purposed me to go through these things to learn not only from them, but how to evolve from them. Though I have this, I'm not defined by this, and that's purpose to me. Though you go through this, or though you experience that, that's not your purpose. Your purpose was, once you got out of it, how did you evolve? How did you grow? What was the lesson? And that's what purpose means to me. Like, what was the lesson? How is that defining and making the footprints for me now? So, yeah.
Profound. So we on question 11. How do you define success?
So I tell everybody this: success is what it looks like to you. For me, success is having this poetry thing be an income for me, and not just this thing that I do. It'll be this thing that I do that I love, and I'm getting paid for it, so I can be comfortable. That's what success looks like for me. Whereas to somebody else is having billions of dollars, flying the world. No, I want this to be my bread and butter, and that's what success will look like for me. Like, God gave this to me, so let's make this happen.
Absolutely. And there's no better way to make money than doing what you love.
That's what I'm saying.
No better way. And speaking of love, question 12. What are your thoughts on self-love?
So, in all transparency, I don't want to be a hypocrite, but I am a hypocrite. I believe that everybody needs to take self-care. I think that self-love is so important. If you're not good for yourself, you can't be good for anybody else. That's the cliche that we all hear. But what does that entail? Sometimes as you saying, I just can't, I need to lay myself in bed today because I can't do all that is on my plate. I feel that we have this complex as Black people, that we have to be superheroes in every aspect of life. And you just got to keep going until you're burned out. That's not self-care. It's recognizing when enough is enough and saying, like, okay, I need a day to relax. I need a day to detox, to take that mental break. And kind of just recoup who you are, regroup and say, okay, this is what's best for me. I don't practice it all the time. But I don't want, like I said, I don't want to be a hypocrite. But I think that it is imperative. I'm working on it. I'm doing better at it. But it's imperative that we not be superheroes all the time. We do need mental health days. We do need self-pampering, feed yourself, get your hair done, get your nails done for the females. Guys, get your nails done too. Get your little manicures and pedicures. Go to the spa once in a while. If you can't, get your husband or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you prefer, to massage you a little bit. I don't know. Do something that's, therapeutic to you.
Absolutely. Self-care. So we on question 13. 12 and 13 was questions that I added because I really wanted to know the answers.
Yeah.
So 13 is, what was your most gratifying moment? What was the most gratifying moment for you in 2020?
It would be the launch of the book. It was the first time that I decided that I'm going to put me out there. So this book, I let a few people read before it became published. I self-published, And I had a lot of people say, "Oh no, you shouldn't write that. That's a little too, harsh." And because they only read like the first, I'm not gonna give the book away, but they only read the first, chapter, and it's pretty dark. and and it was, discouraging. And I said, you know what, I'm just gonna close out the negative and just push it out and see what happens. And I'm happy that I did. It was gratifying because not only was I able to publish this book, I was able to get a lot of sales from it. And now I have people, writing about it. And now I'm performing. And it just kind of opened up the door for me to kind of just, put myself out there as an artist. I'm a lot behind the scenes. Like I said, I'm an HR person, so I like to how can I push you to be better? How can I push you to get to where you need to go? And I never really pushed myself, so it was the stepping stone for me to push myself out there as an artist, and I'm happy I did it.
Yeah, I'm happy you did it too, because now look what you're doing. See, if you wouldn't have done it, you probably wouldn't be talking about no TV show.
No, not at all.
So, everything has its time. Every moment has its time.
Yeah.
And the time ain't gonna come before, or that moment ain't gonna become before it's time. No matter how bad we want it, right? We gotta go through that process, right? And the book was the start of it all.
Yes.
That's powerful. Powerful. Again, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The last question is speaking about your book.
Yeah.
Purposeful brokenness. So, what comes after this? Well, you already done spoke about what you're doing now.
Yes.
But speak a bit. Okay, let's talk a bit about the book that I'm holding right here in my hand. Talk about this a bit. Because we already know what you're doing now. What came after this. Talk about the book that started it all. Just a bit. Don't give too much away, because the whole point is we're trying to generate sales for you.
Yes.
So
Purposeful Brokenness is a 3-part book that talks about the journey of self-discovery and self-love. And it takes you through the dark. It takes you through the unknown, and then what the healing process looks like. And that's what that book is in a nutshell. The art and everything is done by me in terms of gritting the graphics together. I don't draw. I do not draw, but the graphics of it I did do myself. And it was a powerful piece for me, like I said, because it was me in a nutshell. And the second book that is coming after it, which I am hoping to get done by next year, is called Black Adulting. And it goes through the transitions of being a Black person growing up in the projects and experiencing life after. Like, what does the hood definition mean versus what real reality looks like outside of what those 4, blocks look like.
Yeah.
So through poetry. So it's exciting, it's nerve-wracking, but it's something I think needs to happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A book is how we immortalize ourselves in the literary world, right?
Yeah.
When we're no longer physically here, we have a book, and like 10 years after the fact, somebody stumble across your book. And, they thinking in that time period, it wasn't no hope. But nothing happened there. But then they read your words and their whole mindset change. Yeah. Ain't that powerful, though?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's powerful to be making a difference 10 years from now, or 10 years after you're no longer physically on the earth.
That's right.
That is powerful, and that in itself should make people want to write a book. Writers want to become published authors. To be doing that.
Yeah.
That's powerful. So now we're to the point where you can read anything. You can read from your book, or you can read something you just wrote, or you can read something off the top of your head, recite something off the top of your head. This is your moment.
Yeah, so I'll actually read a poem out of the book. Hopefully you guys like it.
I'm going to follow. What page?
I'm going to do Confessions on page 17.
17. I'm right there.
And this is for my women mostly. So it's for all, but it's predominantly for our women. Okay? Confessions. I am uneducated black girl because I do not have slapped on me and labeled completion. Masterfully designed, fragmented, not whole, and in pieces. Wait. Let's not start here. Let's start from the beginning. I am black girl who was not that girl people my age associated with. Weeper who was also no eater, depression swallowed me all. Where 7-year-old girls lie with petite little eyes gleaming in her doll's eyes, I lie with blood-filled panties wondering why he was inside me. Depression would smile and mask my insecurities. I am sick girl. Pain dances around my body as kids do on merry-go-rounds, contoured with no profound answers. I am the unknown spread in wildfires, wrapped in purple ribbons on May trees that glistens. She's purposefully broken. No, she's just broken, cast aside as all misfortunes are. I am unwanted black girl, not accepted by all girls. I do not abide by society's rules of engagements. I speak with too much poise to be ghetto girl from ghetto diva from Forster. Though vast in my vernacular, my pretty bow tie grammar does not withstand theoretical comprehension and outweighed by my practical cognizance. Concubine to kitchens and sex demons, she is not woman without a he or child or job. Not this job, but that job. No thoughts to be had by someone maybe like me. According to its society, woman equates to girl, passive-aggressive, emotional object, concubine, only to be sexually desired, petite, pretty, bad bitch, twerk queen, pageant as trophy, dramatic, baby mama, scorned, battered, left to be scattered, possession, beat mentally, step stool, to be nothing of any significance, weak. Well, if I am not black enough, happy enough, strong enough, woman enough, or smart enough, then what am I? I am green book misfit to all books. Caressing the mat with my fingers, I fit right here. I am not accountable for tags bestowed upon me with labels from a system who had all bad fables for minorities like me. I am not able to conform to tables that is unstable and stained by uncertainties and of an insecure and better me. I am powerful for enduring the struggle of being all black and woman, for battling misogynistic and nevrophobics who trample at my unwanted intelligence. I am perfectly imperfect, but not by design or purpose, but because I am green book traveling to places boldly that I am not wanted. To show that though unwarranted, I'm absolutely worth it. Thank you. That's my piece. Thank you. Thank you.
I hear slam in you. I hear slam all in you. I hear the slam. I hear it. I hear it.
Thank
All you gotta do is keep working with it. I hear it. You know, that was profound. Very, very profound. So let me ask you this: where was your mind at when you wrote this? Where did it come from? Where did it come from?
Yeah. So it came from me trying to figure out, how can I express my experience with, with being both woman and dealing with like my life experiences. So, it talks about, being sexually abused. It talks about, dealing with, lupus, being uneducated, because I am not, I don't have a college degree. I have a high school diploma, but I don't have a college degree. So these are all, stigmas of what, we're stereotyped right, for the Black community. And then not only am I stereotyped because of being Black, but I'm also being Black and being stereotyped as woman and all these labels that we have on us. And it's saying that we need to just break the barriers. Like, we don't have to fit anywhere. And then also, have you ever seen the movie Green Book?
No.
I recommend that movie to everybody. It's not like this wonderful, wonderful movie, but it's so profound in terms of the different meanings that you can interpret from it. And basically it's talking about the Green Book, which is what Black people used back in the day to see where they can go in these white communities. So like if it was a Black performer, you couldn't stay in white hotels or anything like that. So they had a Green Book where they would tell you where Blacks were welcome, where you can eat, where you can stay, and things like that. So I'm just saying that with that, I'm the Green Book that I can fit anywhere. It doesn't matter where you say I can or cannot go. This is where I fit. I fit wherever I feel like I fit. So I feel like that was like a great mesh together of how to kind of, display like, yes, I'm all these things because of what I say that happened to me, what has happened to me, what you label me as, but I'm not just all of these things. I'm this too. I can do whatever I want. I'm not these labels that y'all put on me.
Right. That's profound. I had asked somebody earlier, if somebody asked you to break down everything you have ever written, would you be able to do it without pondering?
Yes. Absolutely.
Her answer was not everything.
Wow, why?
I didn't say anything. But when she said that, my mind was like, there is no way I can write anything and somebody come up and explain that part. I will break that part down to its lowest compound and then build it back up to something else. Right?
That's right.
Right there with that, I'll build it back up to something else, right?
Yep.
I write from the heart.
Yeah.
So everything I write, I'm gonna know what it's about. Everything.
It's a connection. Like it's like everything. So for me, especially, like everything has purpose, right? I believe that for me, I can speak only for myself. Everything I put on paper, it's meant for a reason. And like I said, I'm here to teach. I want to teach like what the Black experience is in every respect. So it's purpose what I'm saying on the paper, and I want to make sure that it's spoken that way and heard that way. And it may be interpreted something different, but you'll still get the Black experience in it. So you'll always know where my poetry is coming from. It's either being from a Black perspective or a woman perspective most of the time. Right. And I think that with those, like, it's passion, right? You're connected to your passion. You're whatever you're putting down, whatever you're putting out, like, it's a representation of you. You're wearing it because you wrote it. I wear my book. If you came to me and said something negative about my book, we liable to fight. That's me. That's my baby. But as long as it's coming from all good, good, healthy, constructive criticism, and it's not just you bashing it, like I'm all for constructive criticism, but at the end of the day, I can stand for my book because I understand what I wrote and I knew how I wrote it and why I wrote it that way.
Yeah, that is powerful. To know your why. See, your why should always dictate your what.
Yes, right.
Always. So you say it's either going to be from a female perspective or Black perspective.
A female perspective or a Black perspective. Most of the time. Right. 90% of the time. Yep. I have some love pieces. I have some pieces that, it's about just, everybody has that I am poetry piece. Like I have some like little scattered pieces. The majority of it is being either Black or being, or mental health, I have to say, in mental health.
So when you have a formula like that, I'm going to just take a shot. You've never experienced writer's block. I'm talking about after you came up with this formula, because you have a formula. You had like at least 3 ways of writing.
Yes.
So one of those ways is gonna always keep you writing.
That's right.
So after you created that formula, you never experienced writer's block, right? Am I right?
That's not true. Nope.
Oh, it's
You still get writer's block because it's one of those situations. It's like for me, I can't speak for everybody else. For me, it's how can I say this differently? And that's kind of where where you want to say something so many different ways, so you can get so many different perspectives of it. And then too, like for example, for the Harlem Fashion Week, I wanted to write a Willie Lynch letter. You speak. It was going to be called "You Speak Lynch, I Speak Freedom." And I was reading Willie Lynch books. I read the Willie Lynch letter, breaking the laws, broken. Like I was doing research, and because I couldn't get the words the right way, and I wanted to make sure that it was, like I said, correct information, I scrapped it because I couldn't get the right content to put into it to make it sound like a cohesive piece that represented me. So now, so then I did something called I Can't Breathe. So now I'm going back to the Willie Lynch letter so I can figure out how to make it the way I want it to be made. So sometimes we still do get writer's block in terms of just making sure that the language is the right way and how you perform it is the right way. And, does this word go there? So there's a lot of like just, technical, things that goes into a poem if you're overthinking like myself. Like I want to make sure it's performed and said the right way.
yeah. But I would just, because I've never experienced it ever. I mean, not never. Because I got 3 ways of writing: to encourage, to enlighten, and entertain. Mm-hmm. I don't go outside of them ways. I don't go outside of them, right? Yeah. And all 3 categories are so broad. Yeah. They're so broad. I can do so much with all 3 of those. Just so much, right? That I don't think I'll never be able to cover everything that I can do with those 3 ways of writing, right? Yeah. So when you said you had that formula, mm-hmm. I was looking at it from how I look at it, right? Yeah. I can't have writer's block. It's impossible. I have all these. It's only 3, but within those 3, the way of creating it is infinite. It's That's infinite, right? So when you said that, I just, I was like, she's never experienced writer's block. That's why I said after the formula. Now, before it, I can see that. But after you came up with specific ways to write, that's when I was like, she's never experienced it. But you made it make sense when you said you still do. Yeah. Because of that perfectionist in you, right? Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is. Because you got the way, but you like, I don't like that way. I don't like how I'm putting this. So I get it. I do get it. So I really enjoyed this interview. It was really, you're very intellectual. I like how you articulate yourself. You're very intellectual and you're a go-getter. I love that. Thank you. You're welcome. Do you have any last words before you, I, and your husband part ways for the evening?
No, I just say everybody be blessed. Continue to go after your craft, whatever it may be. Be authentic to yourself, and make sure that you practice self-care in the midst of it all.
Absolutely. So you two have an awesome rest of your evening and continued success to both of you in all that you do, right? All that you do. Let me say that right. Let me end that right. I wish you both all the best that living life to the fullest has to offer.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are very welcome. You're very welcome. Very welcome. So,
you have a great night. Thank you for this interview and for this platform. This is an amazing platform for people just to, talk about their work and their craft and, uplifting, everyone's artistry.
Before you go, I want you to know that this will be on my personal page until 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. After that, it's going to drop down in my IGTV gallery. You can watch it anytime you want from there, right? Thank you. And anybody who didn't see it, that you wanted to see it from the beginning, all you got to do is tell them to go to my page. It's going to be the first thing posted on my page till 4 a.m. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Again, yes, ma'am. Again, I wish y'all all the best.
Good night. Yeah. I don't know how to come out of it. Let's see.
So that was just an awesome experience. I see you, homeboy. What up, though? What up, though? That was awesome. I love these interviews. I love being in a position where I could do these interviews. You know, and if I wasn't a writer, I probably would, but it wouldn't be the same. Just say I was just somebody who loved writers. I'm just a reader, but I'm not a writer. I don't think the experience would be the same, right? Because I wouldn't be able to relate to no writing. I wouldn't be able to relate to it. So I'm so thankful that I am a creative writer, and I can call myself that and mean it. So that's another powerful interview in the book. And yeah, this is her book. I haven't got to this book yet, but it's high on the list. Actually, it might just be the next book I read, and by Sunday, because it's a light book. It's light. It's not heavy. It's light. So by Sunday, I could be finished with this, and this book could be in Showcase Sunday. Who knows? Maybe it's Sunday, Showcase Sunday, and I'll have her right back talking about the book. So I got to get out of here. It's your brother, Henry. Wish you all the best this life has to offer. God bless, continued success, and remember, no matter what you do in this life, always make sure it's a memorable moment. You got this. I believe in you, 100%. Now it's time for you to start believing in yourself the same exact way. Until it may be a Showcase Sunday. I don't know. But if it is, until Sunday, be good to someone, mainly yourself. Babies. Greetings and welcome to Positive Place, where your presence makes this place that much more positive and where your voice matters. I'm your host, Henry, and I pray that all is well with everyone during this time of rebuilding and rejoicing. Tonight's guest had to reschedule because an unexpected event came up, and it was more important than coming to Positive Place. Understandable, you know, and I appreciate her reaching out and letting me know. So I said this be a perfect moment to find out what will make us better writers. There was a question that was asked to me on another platform. And, you know, there was a number of people in there, and they gave their answers. I gave mine as well. So I would like to know from anybody who wants to come in and share their opinion on what makes us better writers. How you doing, Jazz? Great to see you. Hope all is well with you. I hope you're feeling better, too. But before I go any further, I got to let it be known what I'm thankful for. It's always the same, so without further ado, I'm thankful for having been deemed worthy of being placed on the wake-up call list. Because as we all should know, we all laid down last night, but unfortunately, we didn't all wake up this AM. All those who didn't wake up this AM, eventually their vessel will be reunited with the earth, and their spirit will be reunited with the universe. But for all those who knew those individuals well, the memories they were allowed to create with them will keep them alive in their heart and in their mind for as long as those people live. That is the importance of memories. They immortalize. So my suggestion to everyone in here now and everyone who will watch this live later is a replay. Create as many memorable moments as you can with those you love and who love you, because again, memories immortalize. Again, I'm your host, Henry. This is Positive Place, where your presence makes this place that much more positive and where your voice matters. Tonight's guest had to reschedule, so I said this would be a perfect opportunity to ask the question, what will make us better writers? There was a question